Are you wondering how the new NAR settlement is going to affect you, the homeowner, or maybe the home buyer? Well, today I am going to cover all of that. I'm going to help you understand the changes that are about to take place and be in effect by July. So it's really important that you understand what the lawsuit settlement is going to do. It's going to create change. I think change is inevitable. I think it's good for the industry, and I think it's going to be good for both of you. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Let's just start off with the fact that if you are a buyer, we're going to talk to all the buyers out there. How's this going to affect you? Well, it's going to affect you in the sense that before you even go out to look at houses, you will be sitting down with a potential buyer's agent and talking to them, interviewing them possibly, and seeing if they are a right fit for you to take you out to look at homes and help you end up closing on your dream home. But what that entails is a consultation. You're going to sit down with your buyer's agent and you are going to discuss commission. How much are you going to pay the agent to help you find a home? And in that process is they're going to explain exactly what their job is and what they do for you in order to get you to the closing table and help you find your dream home. Because it's really important to define the job and all the services involved so you know what you're paying for. And that was something that you didn't do currently because this law just actually happened. And so right now, the seller of the home that you're interested in buying has agreed to pay the listing agent a commission, and that listing agent has agreed to share her commission or his to the buyer's agent. That's how it's been set up all along. All along, commission has always been negotiable, but it's just almost felt like it was set in stone that the homeowner paid for the commissions for both sides, and that's just the way it was. So it's just full clarity and letting both sides know that they have options. So going to the homeowner, you do have an option. You have the option to pay your listing agent a commission. That's negotiable. You work out between you and the agent what percentage you're going to pay them to help sell your home. You can also agree to pay for the buyer's agent, someone who brings a buyer to you to buy your home. Now, why would you do that? Well, it would probably give you an edge up to sell your home because now that this change is going to be in effect, there are going to be some homes on the market that will only pay their listing agent. Buyer has to pay their buyer's agent. You might find a home where the seller is going to pay both sides and you don't have to do that. So as a buyer, you're going to think, wow, I don't have to pay my agent the commission. So this is a great house. It will save me a little bit of money. Yes, that is true. That is the two different options that you would have. And that is why the homeowner would get an advantage because they would have more buyers looking at their home. But you may not necessarily have that. So let's say you are a buyer and you're getting ready to buy a home. You need to be prepared. That's why you're having that consultation. You're meeting with that agent to negotiate commissions because inevitable, you are going to be paying that buyer's agent commission. Now, there are a few things in the works. It hasn't been finalized yet. So that's why there's going to be some tweaking and some new things happening from now until July. You want to make sure you subscribe, hit that like button because you're going to want to know the next video I do on the updates of the NAR settlement and how this is going to change the industry. If you are thinking about going out and buying a home, you are the buyer. I'm talking to the buyers right now. If you are thinking about buying a home, there are going to be homes that will only pay the listing agent. That means you have to pay your buyer's agent a commission. There might be some homes that the homeowner decides to pay both agents commission, and that's great for you, but you just need to be prepared, and this is where you have to have a conversation with your lender. Now, this has never changed. It always will be number one rule, and a rule for me is you need to speak to a lender when you're getting ready to think about buying a home because you never want to just go out without knowing what your budget is. You need to know what your budget is. You don't want to fall in love with a $500,000 house. You find out that you can only afford a $300,000 home. It's just a waste of your time and a big disappointment. So number one, go to a lender first. Another reason why you would want to go to a lender first, you may not know that you have a few cobwebs on your credit report that have to be addressed. And some of those cobwebs may take maybe a month or two to rectify. Because let me just say, when you make changes in payments and you pay certain things off on your credit, it doesn't show up right away that you're clear, you're good, you're debt free. It sometimes takes 30 days to clear. So this is why you need to talk to a lender first, see if you have to fix anything on your credit report. If you don't, you're good to go. Hey, let's find out what your budget is. And just keep in mind, even though the lender will give you a budget, doesn't mean you have to spend that either. I always do make sure that my clients are aware of that, because you never want to be paycheck to paycheck and really strapped. So make sure that you are comfortable with the number that you're at. So with all that being said, is yes, lender is number one and always will be number one for me. And the second thing is interviewing for a buyer's agent, because now you really want to make sure you have a buyer's agent that is going to have your back and fight for you. So let's just talk about what a buyer's agent would do for you, because I think that's really important to define it. Now, I may miss a few things, but I'm going to give you an overall perspective of what a transaction would look like and what an agent would do. So you want to, obviously we're showing you homes and we're negotiating on your behalf. If you tell me what your offer is, and I'm presenting it, I have to write up the contract, make sure the proper addendums are attached for everything. Again, it really depends. You could buy a house in the city and have very little things to worry about, or you could buy a house in the country and there's a long list of things. So depending on what type of home you want that buyer agent to be able to be articulate and knowledgeable in those types of homes. What do I mean by that? So I always ask my clients, if you're looking for a home, do you want a septic? Do you want a well? Or do you want city water and city sewer? Now, why I say that is because that does make a big difference in your home inspection. So you're going to go to the home inspection. You're going to need to not only do a home inspection, but you're going to have to do a septic inspection, a well inspection. If you have an oil tank, is it above ground, underground? Regardless, you should even have an HVAC specialist to come and take a look at and you've got to find someone who is educated in doing oil heaters and have that inspected as well. These are all the things when you want to go out to the country and have an urban life, that's what you're going to end up doing for some of your inspections when you're going through a home. But there's a couple other things I do. I make sure I call the township. I want to find out everything I can at the township level. It's public record to do a OPR form, which takes about 1 to 7 days, depending on how busy the township is. And they will let you know if there's any open permits on the property, or any work that was done on the property. I also want to find out for a certificate of occupancy, usually falls on the responsibility of the homeowner, but in some transactions I have seen that it's the buyer's responsibility. And when that's the case, it's my job to get that information and say to my clients, hey, these are the things that we have to take care of. Some of the repairs that have to get done may affect your lending process as well. So are you going for FHA, conventional, VA? So if you're going for conventional, they're pretty lenient for the most part. If you're going for FHA, a lot of the times they're going to have a list of repairs, and you want to make sure that the repairs from the township get addressed, because you cannot get a certificate of occupancy and move in, and you need that for an FHA loan. These are just a few of the things that I do, that all agents do, not just me, we all do them, to help you get to your dream home and get to the closing table. So if you don't have representation, how are you going to know all this stuff? Yes, you could go hire an attorney, but the attorney is not going to do all this stuff by no means. They're just going to make sure that you follow the contract, you follow the dates, and they'll take care of title for you probably. But they're not going to go out there and do deep dive investigations and make sure things are taken care of. And we have your back. Just know that as agents, we have your back. We want you to be happy and no regrets, no disappointments. So for the homeowner, to sum this all up, you will save money. Will this change the price of your house? Probably not. I mean, a lot of people say it will, but I really don't think so. The market value of your home is what it is. And if you are not paying the buyer's commission, then that just means it's more money in your pocket. Now, it may allow you to have a little leeway if there was some negotiating from the buyer side. Let's say the buyer negotiates you paying the buyer's agent's commission. You didn't want to at first, but you don't have any offers on the table and it's been 60 days. Guess what? you may entertain that now because you're not getting your house moving and rocking and rolling. Who knows? There's so many scenarios that could happen. But I just hope this helps you a little bit. I just know that the biggest change is going to be that a buyer is going to need to sit down with a buyer's agent and have a consultation and negotiate on what you're willing to pay your agent to help you find a house. This is Lisa, your real estate bestie, and I hope you found this valuable because that's my goal. I want to make sure that you are not blindsided and you know exactly what this settlement is all about. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment below. Be happy to answer it for you. But make sure you hit the subscribe, save this video. You may want to come back to it. I do believe that this is something that you just have to absorb and you might need to hear it a couple of times. And also, make sure you subscribe because there's going to be plenty of changes down the road with this, more things to come. And I want to make sure that I educate you on what's new and what's happening in the real estate world. It's just, I don't know, I'm the type of person that's very optimistic. I always think change is good. So just embrace it, love it. It's going to be okay.